Dana Loesch Tomi Lahren criticized Jessica Thurlow live on air. React to Kate Steinle trial verdict. Did Jessica make herself look bad again? Let's take a look at it together.
Here's a fact. 6 times. There's going to be a 6 deportation. They wouldn't hand him over to the federal government who had requested that they hand this man over. Did this sanctuary city law kill Kate Steinle?
Well, the illegal immigrant himself is the one who killed Kate Steinle. Certainly the sanctuary city policy allowed him to stay here, and I think that there will be a sea change in this. We saw it in Virginia with the race. Ralph Northam came out against sanctuary cities. I believe it was key in him winning that race.
Could you say without sanctuary cities, in all likelihood, Kate Steinle would be alive tonight?
Without the San Francisco sanctuary city policy and the way that people there, she was 32, 33 years old. Yes, I imagine she would be alive.
Borders are so porous that a man can sneak back in a 6th time or 7th time?
There are, but we know that we have a net outflow of the country.
So do you now want to build the border wall?
No, I will never want to build a border wall because it's ineffective.
The thing is, it's our borders that are ineffective. This is proven by border officials who counted more than 225,000 migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border this month, the highest monthly total since 2000. One criminal case has been closed, and an undocumented immigrant will be deported in the future. But for Kate Steinle's parents, the legal battle over who's responsible for their daughter's death is just entering its next phase. It's devastating.
Well, to answer Jessica's question there, physical barriers work, and that's why Democrats don't like them. But Democrats are going to be put in a very interesting situation now. They're going to have to choose between illegal immigrants and the American people. And I'm anxiously awaiting, the response of the Democratic Party, because I think it's going to really help us in 2020.
Dana, like you, I've been using firearms since I'm young. He said he was aiming this at a sea animal, and then it became I stepped on it. And then it did ricochet and hit Kate Steinle in the back. This particular Sig Sauer, it's not one that I fired. I was wondering if you have.
God, this is bullshit. Jose Inez Garcia Zarate was sentenced Friday to serve time for illegal possession of a firearm after a jury in November dismissed murder charges against the Mexican national for the bullet that killed Steinle as she walked on a San Francisco pier in 2015. What he said in court is complete bullshit. How was that even possible to believe?
I have, and I thought what Dan Bongino said earlier was pretty spot on. I thought that the defense was moronic on this, and I realized that, Sean, that there are certain things that the jury saw that we, the people, didn't see. But I do find it interesting that the same people who want to look at ballistics and forensic reports as it concerns ballistics, they ignored that in the Mike Brown case. Look, and for the lawyer to also invoke Donald Trump and then falsely also say that there's there's an investigation that was based on Kremlin propaganda, which substantiated a FISA warrant, I thought was bizarre. This is moronic. People in California are not protected. The courts have said that there is no justice, no peace for the law-abiding. Those who break the law and enter illegally are given preference over law-abiding Americans. And California has now declared itself to be a dangerous state, Sean. California has decided that it wants to make it virtually impossible for law-abiding Americans to be able to choose their pro-choice right of self-defense, the feminist equalizer, a boomstick. But if you're an illegal alien and you are in that state being protected by it as a sanctuary state, well, then you're afforded all of the luxuries of American citizens, including rights that we have sacrificed for due process. And you're given a slap on the wrist that this wasn't even involuntary manslaughter is an affront to due process. It's an affront to justice and all the law-abiding citizens in California. This is shameful.
That's the whole point of our judicial body. We protect the guilty. Biden is giving a free life to illegals who crawled like rats into our country and live on our dime. They get food, housing, benefits. What's next? How about we each take one in? It's disgusting.
Well, as someone that is actually residing in California right now, I can say as a young woman living in California, this sends a very clear message to me, and that is the illegals are protected in this state and Americans are not. And these, I think that Jessica, her heart is probably in the right place, but anytime that you defend sanctuary cities, especially after this verdict has come out, I have to ask you, why would you still defend a policy that is harboring criminals? That's the end of the discussion. It's not, oh, there's a lot to look at here.
It's not the end of the discussion. When we have a national tragedy, and we have Dana on the panel who's a firearms expert, when we have a mass shooting, we don't say we need to take away all the guns because someone misused
Liberals
it.
do all the time.
They don't say we'll take away all the guns. We want responsible gun reform. 94% of Americans want.
I have to interject.
Well, Please.
You know, law-abiding Americans are always blamed for the actions of criminal thugs like Zarate, this individual who murdered Kate Steinle. Law-abiding Americans who are Second Amendment practitioners are constantly blamed for the actions of repeat offenders like this illegal alien. But yet when the illegal alien does it, oh, it was an accident. He meant to shoot a SEAL. If only law-abiding Americans got as much courtesy and were afforded that as much as this individual was, it's never going to happen. But now you can understand why so many law-abiding Americans are so disgruntled at this.
The acquittal has sparked a new flurry of protests, including from President Trump, who used Steinle during the campaign to argue for a border wall, an end to sanctuary cities, and tougher immigration policies. But Steinle family lawyer Frank Peters said after the trial that there were always 2 chairs missing on the defense table. This is a tragedy, and we must draw conclusions. These migrants have no place in our country. What do you think about this? Write your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to watch other shocking news on the channel.